Ethereum in 2022. What are your thoughts?
I got the last quarter wrong last year, so who am I to be the right person to get it this one right? My guess, I still think higher. I still think we actually got a strong run to come. I think this kind of year-long sideways correction that we've essentially had is just a springing board to further gains as more adoption rolls out, more use cases roll out, etc.
Would you still call ETH one of the greatest trades in the world?
Oh yeah. I mean, I still think risk adjusted, ETH will do extremely well over time, just because, the reason why it's expensive to use is because it's so damn popular, right? And so, it's like a chain of prestige now for things to be built on, because it is the more decentralized of all of the other layer ones. So it makes sense to me. I think with the change towards ETH 2.0 coming as well, I think that narrative will build over time as well. So I still think the upside in ETH is massive in terms of market cap. Where could it go? It can go another 10x from here in terms of market cap alone. Over what period of time? Who knows?
Do you think Ethereum will flip Bitcoin in 2022, or do you think it'll flip Bitcoin ever?
Yeah, I think it will. Whether it's 2022 or not, don't really have a strong view. My guess is probably. And again, that shouldn't be taken as, oh, ETH's better than Bitcoin. It's like comparing Apple's market cap with Tesla's market cap. They're just two entirely different things, and that's okay.
But you can't. But for maybe the newer folks joining the crypto space, could you explain why you're so bullish on Ethereum as opposed to the other layer ones? Like, what makes it different?
So the other layer ones may well outperform, but you have more risk in them. So we've seen, for example, Solana got tested over this recent sell-off, and the chain's still a bit clunky. It has its own set of problems. And all of these come with different sets of problems. But in the right market, because they're seeing earlier adoption, the rate of change goes up faster. So from going from 1 billion to 2 billion is much easier than going from 10 billion to 20 billion or 300 billion to 600 billion. So rate of change terms, they can perform very well, but they're riskier. So ETH has that balance of being more risky than Bitcoin because it's less decentralized, we talked about before, less pure, but it still has the massive network adoption that we're looking for, which is the thing that drives prices. And network adoption is just not people buying it, it's people using it and applications being built on it. It's how you connect all the people on the network. And ETH is still far superior than anything else, but these others are coming up from a lower base. So it's that balance of risk reward. I mean, there will be lots of times you'll have FOMO if you own ETH because something else will do a lot better. Now, that's what the Bitcoin investors will say too is, okay, fine, other chains may outperform, but we're happy with the security and the safety of owning Bitcoin, and that's fine too. There's always a risk curve somewhere across all financial markets.
Now, so I'm really interested to hear how you think about this. Let's say ETH, out of all the layer ones, ETH holds that number 1 spot. Out of all the other alternative layer ones, what would hold like the number 2 spot and number 3 spot? There's Algorand, Solana, Cardano, Polkadot, Elrond.
I have no idea. I've literally no clue. 1 week it looks like it's a terrible FOMO market. So 1 minute it looks like Solana, and the next minute you've missed the run in Terra, and then you've missed AVAX, and then you've missed Polkadot. It's a nightmare. So the answer is I literally have no idea. You notice that there's a huge amount of investors who are very bullish on Terra still, including Remy, who works for me, who was a co-founder of Real Vision, and works for me at Global Macro Investor. He's a big investor in that space, loves it, and a lot of people are. A lot of people that I think are very important investors in the space are very bullish on Polkadot still, and they have been for a long time. It's never really done what everybody expected it to do. But, again, you got to keep your mind open to these things. Or it could be something else. Something else comes out of the blue, finds a different use case, and before you know it. So it's really hard to trade this kind of stuff.
Yeah, if any of us knew the future, we'd all be rich, right? And I'm sure our audience would love to help you out on your journey to pick a second L1 Altcoin Daily audience. Comment below. Raoul, you promised to take a quick glance in the comments to see what people think you should.
Yeah, here's a question then for the audience is, don't give me one because you don't know, even if you pretend you do. Give me a basket of 6. So that's the intelligent way to do this, is you build a basket of 6, assume that some won't do as well, and one of those will be the home run, or 2 of those will be the home run. So if people in the comment section can give me the basket of 6, it's interesting. Be useful for everyone, I think.
I love that. I wanted to pick your brain on this before we get past Ethereum. When you call it the greatest trade in the world, to me, that means there's a selling point. You buy it, then sell it. That's a trade. Will you be selling the news on ETH 2.0?
It depends whether it goes into the news on a high or into the news on a low. You know, it depends how the price action is. Now, and ETH won't remain the greatest trade forever. You know, don't forget, I bought ETH, I don't even remember what price. It was a long way ago and a lot lower. So, you know, that's proven itself out. It did 500% last year or 480%. So, you know, you don't have to reprove the trade every year now from my entry price. Will I trade out of ETH into something else? For sure. When? No idea. Or will I just add other tokens, protocols, opportunities, and just keep my ETH holding? I really don't know. I keep it fluid. Unless I see something that fundamentally seems wrong. Maybe the sharding on ETH allows for breakages that we didn't perceive, and it becomes more difficult to use when you go to ETH 2.0 and it takes a while to get it right. Well, maybe things move to other chains for a while, and that's fine too. So it's not a crusade for me. It's a opportunistic investment. I think it's a long-term investment. I don't really think, I've already been in the trade for well over a year. You know, am I likely to be in the trade for the next 3 years? Most likely. Could I sell out of half of it if ETH's trading at, you know, 20K? For sure.
Yes, great perspective. To watch the full conversation, there is a link down below in the video description. And if you're interested in learning more about cryptocurrency, click subscribe. We drop a video every single day. You do not want to miss one. See you tomorrow.